Hello, my beautiful peeps out there. How are you guys doing on this beautiful, beautiful Tuesday night? I just have something on my heart that, every time when I have something on my heart, I just feel like I just need to speak on it. And I'm going to speak on it because I know it's someone out there that needs to hear this, or somebody out there is feeling the way I feel, is going through it. Grief. Grief is so hard. It's so hard. It really is. It's very, very hard. I just need to just speak on it, and I'm not afraid to speak on when something comes to my heart. Everybody knows that I lost my mom last year, October the 17th. Well, next Tuesday will be a whole year that my mom would be in heaven. I never talked about it. I never expressed, how I feel, what I went through. But I just feel like I just need to release. Because a lot of times people don't take death the same way. Some people, when it comes to death, it doesn't bother them like that. Excuse me, y'all. I gotta sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. But some people, death doesn't bother them, and I learned through the years of my life that my biggest challenge is death. Losing a person that I truly love. I mean truly love. I really didn't understand what death was all about. I really didn't until I lost my father. I lost my dad in 1996, December the 31st of 96. I lost my dad. Going through that moment, losing my dad, I was really numb. Like, I really didn't really understand what death was really about, really. I just knew as his oldest child that I just knew that I had to do right by him. I had to make sure everything was perfect, so that's what I did. I planned my dad's funeral. I wrote his obituary. I picked out his casket. I made sure that he had on his suit. I made sure he wore his cowboy boots. I made sure that everything was perfect, And it hurt my heart, And I guess it hurt my heart the most is because my dad died of a broken heart. He wasn't happy in his life. He wasn't happy in his life. And I knew that as his child. But I always uplift him. I always tried to encourage him. And when I lost my dad, it just made me feel like he didn't have to suffer anymore. He didn't have to go through that depression. Because as a man, men go through things quiet, silent. They suffer in silence. And that's what my dad did. So his death was different. His death was more like at peace. Like he didn't have to suffer. He didn't have to go through that depressed stage anymore. He didn't have to go through people's opinions about him. You know, he didn't have to go through none of those anymore. So I guess with my father's death, I'm going to try not to cry, y'all. But with my father's death, you know, I was just more of numb, like not realizing what I was actually doing. And when I realized what I'm actually doing is burying my father, is when we got to the grave site. You know, I was 7 months pregnant with my baby girl when my father's passed. And I wasn't at a happy place in my life at that moment. And when I got to the grave site, it just made me realize that my dad is actually gone. My dad is not coming back anymore. You know, and I went through that. But at that moment, I didn't know how to express what I was going through. I didn't know how to express how I was feeling. Because a lot of times, you know, coming up, you know, and I'm pretty sure to today, people like to tell you, don't cry, don't express how you feel. You know, you're not supposed to let people see what you're going through. That's your business. That's personal, you know. But people got to realize that people got to get that out. People have to express how they feel, what they're going through. That's why you find a lot of people don't talk about how they feeling inside. They like to keep that in. And when you keep it in, it's just, I feel like it brings on a lot of depression. You know, because you're taking everything what you're feeling, you're balling that inside. You're not expressing how you feeling. And I feel like death, people need to talk about death. You know, people shouldn't be afraid to talk about that. But people are so afraid to talk about death. They are so afraid to talk about that. And I feel like you shouldn't be afraid. You shouldn't. And it's just like losing my mom. That was a different type of feeling. You know, the biggest thing that me and my sister have to deal with is like, our mom was taken from us. She was. You know, last year, you know, in September, she went in for a procedure. Just for a procedure. And when it came to my birthday, coming up to my birthday, I kept feeling weird, like, because I used to love, you know, I love celebrating my birthday. But last year, around my birthday, it was just something that just didn't feel right. And I decided to go to Atlanta to spend my birthday with my mom. Not knowing that that was going to be the last birthday. And I was going to surprise her, but my uncle, he talked so much. He talked so much. So I knew he was going to like spill it. So I didn't call her I didn't tell her until I got like right in Georgia. And she was so excited. And when I got there that Saturday, before I got there, I went to the store. I got me a little bitty cake, And when I got there, and I knocked on the door, and when I walked in, my mom was she was so excited. She told the nurse, she said, "Oh my God, my angel is here." She said, "Oh, my baby girl is here." And she said, "This is the one that you kept talking about, that this is your angel, this is your strong one, this is your baby." And my mom was like, "Yes." And when I walked in, my mama's spirit was so good. She was so happy. And it felt so good. It's like God was just telling me, like, you need to go to your mom for your birthday. I never spoke on this. I never told anybody what I actually went through. And the only reason why I'm expressing is because it's on my heart and I need to speak on it. Because I know I'm not the only one that went through the steps of losing someone that you truly love. And I sat there and I talked to her and we laughed and she asked about the kids, the grandkids. And my sister got there and that's when I said, "Well, Mom, we're going to sing happy birthday." I said, "I got a cake and a candle." And you know, any other time, my mom would have been like, wait a minute. Let me get myself together because I know you like the video. You like to take pictures. But my mama didn't even say any of that. She didn't even care. And the nurse was so sweet. And there. And when I flew in, it just gave me flashbacks. Okay, sorry. It brought me a flashback of what I had to go through with my father. Of walking in and seeing my father laying there. So when I got to the hospital, I was nervous. I just didn't know what to expect. You know, I just didn't know. And when I got in there, it was just crazy. Just to see my mom like that. You know, because we have experienced my mom, you know, in and out of the hospital. And one time, you know, we thought we was going to lose her, you know. But she fought back. But this time, when I seen her with the tubes and all of that, I knew. You know, and I told my sister, I said, "Hey, I'll stay the night with her every night." And that's what I did. You know, it's a couple nurses that I had to get on them and tell them, "Hey, you know, y'all not just going to just do my mom any kind of way. Y'all not about to do that, you know." But other than that, you know, she had good nurses, you know. So we got to a point that, you know, when they came to us and told us, you know, that my mom wasn't having any kind of reaction of the brain because she lost, oxygen when she did her procedure. And me and my sister both felt some type of way. We both had our own opinion, and it was hard. It was very hard. We're praying, wishing, all that. But when we had to make a decision, because I was there with my mom every night. And this one particular time, how it all started is that she had this nurse. He was a guy, and he had this girl that he was training. When I tell y'all, he cleaned my mama up so good. He did. He changed her sheets. And what's so crazy is, like, the sky was so pretty at night. Like, it was just pretty. It's like God was just trying to tell us that she's getting ready to transition. It was just so pretty. And I was laying there, and they was cleaning my mom up and all of that. And I looked at my mom, and I watched my mom's head just drop. And the little nurse looked at me, and he did his head like that to tell me to get out. And I got out, and I heard him, call Cold Blue, and watching them work on my mom. I was just in shock, like, wow. And they brought my mom back. And that whole night, I was just afraid that my mom was getting ready to leave. But then when it came that Sunday, me and my sister made a decision. I told her that, we can't keep going through it. And like I told her, you didn't see it, of them working on mom, bringing her back. I said, it's too much. It's too much. I said, we can't be selfish and hold on to her when she's trying to go. We can't do that. We can't be selfish. Of course, my sister didn't want that. She didn't understand that. She just, and I understood that. I understood that. I mean, that's hard. But I understood because I guess I could handle it better because I was in that position with my father, and my sister never experienced it. So I understood, and we came to agreement to just let her go on her own, and they took all the tubes and all of that, but, my mom didn't, she last, she didn't, pass away right then, and me and my sister, we just experienced a lot, we experienced of someone posting that my mom was dead already, and it was just a lot. It was just a lot. But that Sunday, I told my sister, I said, I'm not going to stay with Mama tonight. I said, I'm going to go buy Jazz and, you know, get my mind right. Because, you know, I was fucked up in the mind, like, watching him, you know. That's watching, I don't know if y'all guys ever experienced of watching them, you know, jump on their chest and, you know, that's hard. That's hard, you know. So I just needed a moment, you know. I couldn't stay the night, you know, but it was so pretty of that day. Like the sun was going down. It was just beautiful, you know, and I went to my mom and, you know, I talked to her, I released, you know, and told her, we're going to be okay. You know, we're going to be okay. You know, if you're ready, you go. If you're ready, you know. And it was just beautiful. Like, it was just beautiful. And then my sister had her moment that night with her, you know. And I know in my heart, my mom did not want me and my sister to watch her catch her last breath. I know she didn't. You know, I know she knew that we wouldn't be able to handle that, which she was right. So that Monday, around 7, no, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back. That Saturday, okay, that Friday, we decided to let her, you know, go on her own for them to take everything off of her. So that Saturday, you know, her blood pressure, you know, kept dropping, but it'll go back up, drop and go back up. So me, my cousin Clifton, my cousin Shavonna, Clifton's wife, and Lisa was there. And we thought, you know, when we took everything off of her, we thought that she was going to pass right then and there, you know, and they thought that too. But my mom didn't, it didn't work like that. My mom knew when she was ready, but she wasn't ready. So it gave, you know, everybody opportunity. But my sister, you know, at that moment, we thought that soon when we unplug everything, that she was going to go right then. So my sister couldn't, you know, be there to watch that. So I was like, okay, that's cool. I understand. I'll be there. So, you know, here they go tell us that my mom didn't have any, you know, brain activities, none of that or whatever. And it was just crazy how we all sit next to the, you know, to the bed, and I'm rubbing on my mom, rubbing her skin, rubbing her legs, her arms, everything, you know, because I know that she's getting ready to go. So I'm making sure that I just touch on my mom. So my cousin Lisa noticed that her leg moved, you know, and we're thinking like, okay, maybe that's just a nurse or whatever. And I kid you not, my mom squeezed my hand so tight. It was just like, wow. She had movement for her to squeeze my hand so tight. I mean, she squeezed it so tight. And I was just like in shock. And I was like telling my cousin, did y'all see that? Did y'all see that? You know, because I'm thinking in my mind, like, is I'm dreaming this or I'm fantasizing this? And they seen it, you know. It just made me feel that my mom wanted to tell us she's gonna be okay and that she loves us. And that Monday, when we got the phone call, the nurse called us and told us that My mom's blood pressure was dropping, that we needed to get to the hospital as soon as possible. And you know, when you live in Atlanta, it takes a minute. You know, you got to drive every goddamn way. On the interstate. But my sister got there. And soon as my sister opened the door, my mom had just passed. And I was on my way. My sister called me. And she told me that mom passed away. I was just in shock. I just kept telling my cousin, my mom is really gone. My mom is really gone. My mom is really gone. And I was so nervous to walk into that room. And when I walked in that room, I see my mom laying there, peaceful. I rubbed on her. I kissed her. I held her. I just kept rubbing her skin. Knowing that was the last time. I'm not sad of my mom's death, because my mom lived a beautiful, beautiful life. It's just hurt that a part of me is gone forever. You know, people are afraid to express how they feel. You know, we get up every morning and try to go on with life, because you have to go on with your life. You know, and I know my mom wouldn't want me and my sister not to go on with our life. Every day I have to push myself. I just feel like a part of me had left. My mom played a big part in my life. You know, to keep me going and to keep me pushing. I go back and I listen to her videos to tell me it's going to be okay. I love you. I'm proud of you. That's why I love hard on people that I truly love. That's why I try to appreciate people. Give people their flowers while they're living. Tell them how much they mean to me, you know. Always trying to encourage people, you know, to be better, to do better. You know, and that's what my mom taught me. You know, do better, be better. You know, when you don't have that person that you can just be and tell them how you really, truly feel inside with no judgments. And when that person is gone, it's just hard to just open up to anybody. You know, grief is hard. You just have to learn how to deal with your life. You're just going to have to learn how to, you know, find the happy moments that you had with that person. You know, I sit around and I think about the good moments, you know, with my mom. You know, and I feel like my mom knew that she was getting ready. She knew. She knew. She knew that. You know, because you can't never prepare a person. But God do give you signs. And sometimes people don't pay attention to the signs. But me and my sister, we paid attention to the signs. We both knew. We both knew in our heart. We knew. We wasn't ready for it. But we knew. We knew. You know, but I tell anybody, love on your parents. I know sometimes your parents might get on your nerves, but love on your parents. You know, tell your parents how much, you know, they mean to you. You know, and if it's things that you have questions that you always want to know, ask your parents. Don't be afraid. You know, don't be afraid. And for the ones out there that is going through it, like I'm going through it, we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. But anytime that you feel in your heart that you just need to speak on your loved ones that passed away, don't be afraid to speak on them. Don't be afraid. Because death is crazy. It can hit you back to back. And that's what it did to me. It hit me back to back. I lost Gussie that first year. I didn't get over her. I'm still not over her. And then the next year, I lose my mom. But I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep pushing through life. You know, I'm going to keep pushing on. You know, that's why I tell anybody, stop being afraid to express how you feel. Stop being afraid to cry. There's nothing wrong with crying. We got to learn how to get things out. We can't allow death to overpower us, you know. We have to release how we feel. You know, losing a loved one is hard. You know, people think that shit is easy. It's not. Sometimes we might make it seem like it's easy, but it's not easy. My mom's death, wow. I just feel like I'm just different. I just have an attitude like I really don't give a fuck. You know, like on stupid things. Like I just try to appreciate the little things in my life. And that's how I look at my life now. You know, that's why when I find myself around people that I love, or people that's just around me, I just want them to feel love and feel happy about themselves. You know, that's why I try to uplift everybody. Everybody. Because we all are going through something. And death for me is hard. That is my biggest weakness, is death. And it's like my mom death just teaching me how to really, really understand about death. It teach me not to be afraid to talk about death. It teach me not to be afraid of how I'm feeling. That's why I decided to come on live, because I just felt in my heart I need to speak on it, because I know somebody out there is feeling just like I'm feeling, but they're afraid to talk to someone because that person is not going to understand them. That person, don't talk about it, you know, but don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to talk about it. Death is out of our control. It is. We don't know when our time is up. We don't. That's why I feel like everybody should sit down and talk about death. You know, ask that person, how are you feeling? Are you okay? And I just feel like a part of me is missing. I just feel like since my mom's death, I just feel like I just need more love, more hugs. And people forget about that. People forget that when a person loses someone that's so close, they need more hugs. It is crazy. Since my mom passed, I haven't felt that hug for someone to just hold me and tell me it's okay. I haven't felt that yet. Because people don't look at death like that. People feel like when a person dies, you're supposed to just suck that shit up and move on. But people don't realize all they need is a hug. It's just a person just to hold them. That's all they need. You know. So the ones out there, you know, if you feeling real down right now because you're missing a loved one, get it out. Get it out. Release it. Don't be afraid. But one thing about it, don't let that death take control of your life. Don't put yourself in a deep depression. You got to release what you're feeling inside. You got to talk about, you know, how you're feeling about that person. Death, you know. And it also should teach you to appreciate your life. You know, we have to appreciate our life more. All of our lives have a meaning. You know, that's why I tell people, don't be afraid to be alone. I feel like being alone, it teaches you. It teaches you how to release the things that you're feeling inside. It teaches you how to understand your life. If you're afraid to be alone, you need to take that moment and be alone to clear your mind, clear your thoughts. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. And a lot of people are afraid to be alone. Don't. You know, sometimes God wants us to be alone because He wants us to focus on you, to clear what you're feeling inside. God wants you to release those things. He wants you to take a moment to yourself. I mean, a moment to yourself, a quietness. I do it all the time. You know, I feel like if I didn't do that, I would lose it. That's why I take moments all the time by myself. You know, take moments by yourself. You know, and I learned that the more I release things that I'm feeling inside, the better I feel. You know, like right now, I feel good. You know, I never spoke on my mom's death. I never spoke on details of what I experienced. And it feels good that I release it because I needed to. I needed to release that. But I wasn't ready at that time to release it. And when it comes to next Tuesday, I'm going to celebrate my mom. I'm going to celebrate her. There's two things that I will celebrate. It's her birthday and her anniversary to heaven. Because one thing about it, I know my mom is right here with me. And she's telling me right now, baby, I'm proud of you. I'm proud that you're keeping your podcast. I'm proud of you. It's just so crazy, like Sunday. And I'm going to get ready to go, y'all. I'm getting ready to get off. I don't know how y'all are, but I know me. I feel things. I feel things a lot. I can feel things when something is not right. I just feel things. And it was so crazy how my grandbaby, you know, she posted her little video, but this is right before she posted the video. But it was so crazy that my grandbaby came back here in my molly room because, you know, I was back here cleaning up. And I had, like, you know, a couple of coins on the ground or whatever, dimes and nickels. My grandbaby picked that up. And she said, love, love. I picked this off the ground because God wanted me to tell you it's going to be okay. And your angel is always with you. And I looked at her and I said, oh. I said, you must have knew love, love needed that. And she said, yes, love, love. I did. And I hugged her so, so tight. And that was just a sign from my mom letting me know she's okay. She's okay. She's okay. And I guess that's why I'm releasing what I've been feeling since my mom passed. That's why I tell my girls, Love on me. Love on your mom. And that's why, I'm hard on my girls. Because I'm trying to get them to understand about their life. Understand life. Because I know how my girls depend on me. Just like how I depend on my mom. And I'm just trying to just teach them and guide them. And I told them, because mom is not going to always be there. I just don't want them to be lost in life without me being here. Because one thing my mom can say, she taught her girls very well. She knew it was going to be okay. But she knew that we was going to miss her dearly. She knew that part. Just appreciate your loved ones. Don't hold grudges. Release that. Because one thing about it, once they're gone, they're gone. They're gone forever. I have a lot of friends out there that's dealing with death real hard. And it breaks my heart. Because I know how they feel. So if you got a loved one or a friend that lost someone, keep giving them hugs. If they start talking about their loved one, don't stop them. Don't stop them. Let them talk about them. Let them talk about them. Bring up good memories of them. Because they need to release it. It's on their heart. Don't stop them. Don't be afraid for them to talk about death. Don't be afraid of that. But thank you guys. I hope I touched someone out there. Don't beat yourself up. Because people don't get you. People don't understand you. Don't beat yourself up for that. Don't beat yourself up. Don't allow other people's opinion to affect you. And that's one thing that I have learned. I don't care about other people's opinion. People's opinion doesn't affect me at all. At all. Because I know they probably have some people that's going to watch this video and say, "Ooh, she's telling her personal business." It's nothing personal. That's not personal. Because my thing is, you don't know my personal life. But I speak on things that's on my heart that I know other people needs to hear it, that's feeling the way I feel. And I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to speak on how I feel. I'm not. Because if I took in other people's opinion, I would have been stopped this podcast. But I don't worry about other people's opinion. I know what God is calling me to do. And I'm doing his job to uplift people out there that needs it. That need guidance of direction, how to make their life better, to understand their life, to change their mindset. But I really appreciate, of you guys tuning in. And I apologize too that I didn't come on last Thursday. My oldest one was here. My kids was here, so I was just enjoying them. And this Thursday, I won't be on because I have a training to go to Thursday, so I won't come on Thursday, but I probably will make it up because I am off that Friday. So, excuse me, I probably will do my podcast that Friday. And also, too, I'm still trying to work things out of bringing Terrell on, you know, because I feel like this discussion needs to be talked about because they have a lot of men out there are suffering in silence. And I want I want Terrell to come on with me to do this, you know, because I want his, point of view of how men, deal with suffering in silence. So I'm trying to work that out, with his schedule of how we're going to do that. I'm trying to get it on a Saturday because I feel like, it will have more people out there is going to actually watch. And I feel like this subject needs to be talked about because I know a lot of guys and I know a lot of people out there are suffering in silence, because men do suffer in silence. Men are going through a lot, and a lot of men just don't know how to express the things that they're feeling inside. So once I get all of that together, I will announce that because I feel like that subject really, really needs to be talked about. I'm trying to, take my podcast to the next level. I'm trying to take it to the next level. But thank you guys for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. And also, to, the ones out there, if y'all see me, you can give me a hug. Because I really do need hugs. I do. I really do need hugs. And I would really, really, really appreciate it. But thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you guys Friday. I really don't know what I'm going to talk about. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be something that needs to be talked about. But thank you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And like I say, for the ones out there that is dealing with grief, keep on pushing, don't give up on life, just find ways, for you to deal with your grief. I know a lot of you guys out there do go to, talk to someone or whatever. If you feel that that's going to help you, you do that, But thank you guys for tuning in. I see you guys Friday. And don't forget, I won't be doing my podcast Thursday. I have to work. So I'll do my podcast Friday. But I'll send y'all a little, update and let y'all know. But thank you guys for tuning in. I really, really, really appreciate it. I know my eyes are red, my cheeks are red, but hey, it's all good. I'm glad I have this platform that I can release what I wanted to release all of these months. And I finally released it. I feel good. Thank you guys. I really, really appreciate it. And look, I got my mom right here. Right there. Look at my mom, y'all. Come on. My beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Ooh. My beautiful mom. I look so much like my mom. Me and my sister both look like my mom. She's a dark version. I'm a light version of her. But we look just like our mom. But thank you guys for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. Peace.